is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nasha Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. We are under another next weather alert day, Ivan.
One more, though. We're going to be done after today. I think better news for the weekend. Perfect timing. I know you're ready for Saturday and Sunday. And what we're going to do here is we're not going to completely shut off rain chances, but we're going to set up an event here that will be tolerable. So all the rain we've had over the last several days, that has, of course, allowed us for these next weather alerts because we've had torrential, overwhelming downpours that have covered a good chunk of the area. Tomorrow it's going to be more isolated to scattered thunderstorms here. Look at some of the numbers here. This is impressive stuff here. We're talking about, anywhere from 3 to as much as 6. And some of the numbers here, or some of the colors depicting 7+ inches of rainfall. So long for the drought here. If you saw the numbers yesterday, we took a pretty good chunk out of that. So excellent news there as far as that is concerned. And for the rest of the evening, I think we're actually in much better shape than we have been over the last several days because we fired the storms early today. The atmosphere has been worked over. Temperatures right now are in the 70s, right? Though overnight lows are typically in the 70s. This is rain-cooled air, so the thunderstorms just do not have the energy that they need to continue late into the evening like they did yesterday because we fired so late yesterday. So we took advantage of all that energy. You can see here just, again, more of a nuisance rain at this point here. Nothing heavy, nothing torrential. So I'm not expecting any significant flooding concerns here. A few localized flood events for later this evening, perhaps, but even this cell that was the strongest we've been following so far this afternoon over the airport, that has fizzled out. I mean, there's just leftover light to moderate showers here. Next Weather Rain Tracker doing a nice job of depicting that and also showing you that there's not going to be much left. There will be some activity over the Everglades, but I think even if that pushes in, it'll be in the form of light rainfall. Umbrellas, absolutely. You'll need those for the rest of tonight, but it's not going to be the sideways rain we've been dealing with and the flooding concerns. Now, we still have a level 1 because of all the heavy rain over the last several days for our area tomorrow. That is a level 1 of 4, so we have dropped the next weather alert because I think this will be, again, more isolated to localized flooding as opposed to a widespread event. So certainly excellent news for your Saturday and Sunday. Don't cancel any plans at all. You will have to dodge a few showers and thunderstorms, but it will be manageable like the last few days across our area. We're tracking the tropics. The lull continues for the most part here, but National Hurricane Center now has tagged this tropical wave with a 40% chance of development over the next several days. No imminent threat to land, certainly not here. We'll keep you posted on that one. So there's your next weather 7-day forecast. No next weather alerts for the time being. That is a nice change of pace. Slower rain chances, a drier forecast for the next several days.
Ivan, thank you. We are in the peak of hurricane season, and the Next Weather team is making sure that you are prepared. Scan the QR code and find all the tools you need to help you get ready. You can also find our 1-hour hurricane special. It has important information for you and your family. Just go to cbsmiami.com. Breaking news in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Officials arrested a suspect, and we are getting a look at the mugshot of Tyler Robinson. Officials say the 22-year-old Utah resident confessed to assassinating the popular conservative influencer. And as CBS News Miami's Andres Gutierrez reports, we are learning more about the alleged shooter's mindset.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Authorities took this man, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, into custody late Thursday. Sources tell CBS News Robinson's father saw the photos released by authorities and confronted his son. The father then reached out to a youth pastor close with the family who contacted the U.S. Marshals.
Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years.
Investigators believe Robinson acted alone when he fired a single shot, piercing Kirk in the neck. Video from the FBI shows what appears to be Robinson jumping off a rooftop at Utah Valley University after the shooting. President Trump announced the arrest on Fox News and called for Robinson to face the ultimate punishment.
I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
Kirk's murder drew bipartisan condemnation and calls to tone down the rhetoric often blamed for political violence.
This is our moment. Do we escalate or do we find an off-ramp?
Authorities did not speak to a motive, but say bullet casings recovered from the rifle believed to have been the murder weapon could shed light on Robinson's thinking. One was engraved with "Hey Fascist, Catch." Robinson is being held without bail. The Utah County Attorney's Office says it will file formal charges next week. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Orem, Utah.
Stay with CBS News Miami as we continue to follow the investigation into the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We will have the latest updates on air and online at cbsmiami.com. Now for a deadly house fire in Cutler Bay. It happened overnight in the 9700 block of Montego Bay Drive. Chopper 4 captured that extensive damage the fire caused. One person died, and as CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner reports, another was taken to the hospital.
Investigators are still trying to determine how this deadly fire started, but I'm going to step out of the way so our photographer Manny can zoom in for you and show you what we are seeing. A hole right through the roof signifies just how big this fire was, and neighbors are now telling us that they heard a boom before seeing the flames. Just before 6 Friday morning, these flames ripped through a home on Montego Bay Drive and 97th Avenue in Cutler Bay.
Yes, she said she heard a loud bang. That was pretty much it. And then a few minutes later, she alerted me to police presence outside the house. And when I walked outside, as I told you before, I immediately noticed that the house was engulfed in smoke.
Frank Rivera started recording this video right after his wife heard the boom. We spoke to him over the phone.
That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that up close. I mean, it was pretty crazy.
Claudia Torres woke up to the sound of sirens.
I looked on Ring and I just saw that they kept coming.
Her Ring picked up fire trucks rushing to get to her neighbor's home. This is what the home looks like from above now. A large hole through the roof.
I'm just really sad for the family, you know, whoever was living there. Not really sure who was living there, but this is normally a really calm neighborhood.
The Miami-Dade Fire Rescue said when they got to the intersection, they saw smoke coming out of all sides of this home. 2 people were inside. One managed to get out on their own. Firefighters pulled the other out. Both victims went to the hospital, where the sheriff's office said one of the victims died. MDSO added the homicide unit is taking over the investigation.
It's a little scary situation. I have kids, so I just want to make sure that we're safe in our home and that our community is safe.
In addition to the cause of the fire at this hour, we are still working to learn the identities of the victims and also to figure out how that surviving victim is doing. Of course, we will let you know as soon as we get any more details. For now, in Cutler Bay, Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
A big announcement from the Broward Sheriff's office. 6 deputies have been fired. Sheriff Gregory Toney says this follows an internal affairs investigation. It is into the agency's response to a triple murder in Tamarac. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray reports from outside BSO headquarters near Fort Lauderdale.
Broward Sheriff Gregory Toney says this is not a systemic failure, but that he is accountable. To recap, 6 Broward Sheriff deputies have been terminated as of today. That is in addition to 2 other deputies that were terminated earlier. This is all connected to that awful incident in Tamarac, February of this year, when Mary Gingles, her father, and a neighbor were murdered in Tamarac. Let's take a listen to what the sheriff had to say.
If anyone in this agency, this is to my troops, anyone carrying a badge and gun who think that's acceptable, you have the ability to resign today. This has nothing to do about protecting our own. We're here to protect the community first. And so there will be no rhetoric coming from this agency as to whether or not the disciplinary actions were appropriate. They have attorneys and they have an opportunity to go to arbitration. But this dies quietly in this agency, and people better saddle up and perform to make sure that doesn't happen again.
The union said while they acknowledge some things did go wrong, they will fight these terminations. Near Fort Lauderdale, Joan Murray, CBS News, Miami.
When we come back, some good news. A big shout out to Miami's Booker T. Washington Senior High School. Find out why after the break. The Miami Hurricanes are ready to host the University of South Florida Bulls tomorrow afternoon at Hard Rock Stadium. Kickoff is at 4:30, and the only place to catch all the action is on our sister station CW Miami 33. And we are counting down to the Miami Dolphins home opener on Sunday. The Fins host the New England Patriots at Hard Rock Stadium. We get started with the Coach Mike McDaniel show at 11 a.m., followed by Dolphins Weekly Live, then kickoff at 1 p.m., followed by the fifth quarter post-game show, all on CBS Miami. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Congratulations go out tonight to Booker T. Washington Senior High School. The school is celebrating its first ever A ranking. Booker T. was founded in 1926. Principal Anthony E. Simmons III has led the school for just 13 months. He said it brings so much joy to see all the students' work, staff, and parents that they have put on and put in to make the school so successful. Okay, so it is finally Friday, our favorite day of the week. Here is CBS News Miami's Lisa Petrillo with something to whet your appetite for tonight's Taste of the Town.
Hi guys, well, we are here at a very cool spot in Miami Shores. It's called Proper Sausages, and I'm with its owner, Freddie, here. First of all, talk about the name Proper Sausages. Where did it come from?
The name comes from my London-born wife. In about 2011, she looked around and said, you can't find a proper sausage in this town. Started making them herself, and a couple years later, we opened the shop here in Miami Shores.
So she probably said Proper Sausages, something like that.
Something like that. I won't tell her you did that.
I couldn't help myself. But so talk about all of this meats and things. You get everything from high quality meats to sandwiches as well.
Yeah, it was in the early days we recognized an opportunity to break from the commodity side of meat production and look for specific farms or taking real good care of their animals so that the meat that we were going to be serving and cooking was going to be healthy for our customers.
Customers loyal. We've talked to some of them. How does that make you feel being a part of this community?
It's one of the most humbling experiences. We've had customers with us from those early days in the farmers market. The support has been incredible.
So we're going to just stop it right there and come back for CBS News Miami at 5:30 for the Taste of the Town. We will see you then. Until then, I'm Lisa Petrillo.
Look, I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a wonderful day. Stay dry out there.